Aloha and welcome back to my home tiki bar, Henry's Hideout. I went surfing yesterday for the first time in a long time at Doheny Beach, and it got me thinking about an old drink from Don the Beachcomber's Delectable 30 menu, self-titled if you will, called Don Beach. The only drink on the menu with a small surfer depicted on the side of it. But you're asking, Chasen, surfing, tiki, those don't go together. As far as tiki heads are concerned, they don't. But why is that? Well, let's dive into it a little bit. The reality is, whether tiki files like it or not, tiki and surfing have been intertwined since the beginning of both of those arts. In the 18th century, European explorer James Cook was one of the first people to ever document wave sliding. As him and his crew were pulling up on Hawaii, they noticed people sliding across waves on long wooden boards. The indigenous Hawaiian peoples saw Captain Cook's coming as a sign of the beginning of Makahiki. During this time, the god of fertility, Lono, tours the island, is worshipped by the people while taxing them, and then at the end of the season, the god of fertility, Lono, is ritually sacrificed, which is what happened to Captain Cook. Don't feel too bad for Captain Cook. He was a pillager himself, and he was allegedly going to the islands to, of course, teach the indigenous peoples about religion and science. But a big boat full of European explorers show up. We know the rest of usually what happens there. Raping, pillaging, destruction of another people's culture that were already there. So the art of wave carving and tiki carving are deeply connected, as even Captain Cook was mistaken as the arrival of Lono, the god of fertility, which is often depicted in tiki statues. I happen to have a Lono statue right here. At one point, Captain Cook, the very first European explorer to ever witness surfing. It's even documented that royalty in Hawaii and other Polynesian islands such as Tahiti were out there shredding the gnar. Often the higher you ranked in those villages, the better you were at surfing. It was never just a fun pastime for low-ranking people in the society, it was for everybody. People who worshipped the same gods. The gods often depicted through tiki statues, carvings, masks, all the things that we like to collect and hang in our home bars. So if the connection runs so deep, why is it sacrilege to hang a surfboard in your traditionalist tiki bar space? That really comes down to the decision of tiki bar owners in the 30s and 40s. As stated in Martin Cate's book, Smuggler's Cove, young surfers would be out hitting the waves while their parents would be stuffed up in these tiki bars that really revolved around the idea of fine dining. Exotic, tribal, mysterious, yes. Also a place where you'd go, dress up, get served eloquent, exotic dishes, yes. Yet all in the same, surfers actually did wear little tiki statue pendants as good luck, or as seen in this snippet from the Brady Bunch, as bad luck.
Then, while at the construction site, Bobby finds a small idol that was unearthed by one of the workmen. Bobby is unaware that according to ancient island superstition, the idol is taboo and brings bad luck to those who touch it. Then Greg wears the idol for good luck in a surfing contest and has this terrible accident.
What happened? Are you all right?
Scenes like that go to show how tiki and surfing culture were even further connected through pop culture. Surfing culture, as depicted through television and just general pop culture, would really try to kind of imbibe the surf shack with the tribal hut that you can still see in Papua New Guinea and the other Polynesian islands, as well as Hawaii itself. But getting back to traditional tiki bars, why surfing and tiki is so intentionally separated there is because of that fine dining concept. People like Don Beach and Trader Vic did not want their bars to be diluted in any way of that exotic, mysterious, fine dining feel with something that perhaps their guests are more familiar with, such as surfboards, even though surfing and tiki originated in the same place. With all that being said, why did Don Beach choose to depict a surfer next to the drink we're about to make? That's a mystery that I don't know. I spent a lot of time tracking down this drink and its recipe, and I believe I have found it. So let's get the rums out here on the bar and let's go ahead and make Don Beach. For today's cocktail, you will need 1 lime, passion fruit syrup, pineapple juice, an ambered Martinique rum, a dark Jamaican rum, a cognac or brandy, angostura bitters, and some absinthe. We're going to start by cutting a fresh lime in half and getting half an ounce of lime juice into our clear glass. Next, we're going to need 1/4 of an ounce of passion fruit syrup. I'm using Liber & Co. here. Up next is going to be a full ounce of pineapple juice. I am using canned Dole pineapple juice, but feel free to use fresh if you want. Now for the star of the show, 1 ounce of ambered Martinique rum. I am using a Clement Select Barrel Rum Agricole. Then you're going to want to use a 1/4 ounce of dark Jamaican rum. I chose Dr. Bird because it's the funkiest Jamaican rum I own. Following that, the recipe calls for a 1/4 ounce of brandy. I'm using cognac, which is a type of brandy from Cognac in France. And then we're going to do just 1 dash of angostura bitters. Finally, in classic Don the Beachcomber fashion, we're going to do 6 drops of Pernod or absinthe. Transfer the drink into your mixer tin and hit it with just a touch of pebble ice before you flash blend for 5 to 6 seconds. And then we're going to dump the cocktail into your frosted vintage bamboo etched glass. And fill the rest of the way with pebble ice. For garnish, we're going to go with a golden Tiki swizzle stick and a huge bushel of fresh mint. So there it is, guys, Don Beach, the only drink that has a little surfer dude depicted next to it on the menu. Never had this before, so let's see. On the front, I'm getting a lot of passion fruit. The passion fruit and the pineapple is mixing super well. And as far as the alcohols are going, I am getting that 0.25 of the Dr. Bird. And why I use Dr. Bird here for my Jamaican rum is because it is one of the most potent Hogo funk rums that I have. And I knew that 0.25 would show up in this drink. With each sip, you get different flavors. And let me say, the brandy or the cognac I use in this case marries so well with that ambered Martinique, that single barrel select Clement rum. That select barrel bottle of Clement also makes some of the best daiquiris you can ever have. You get a touch of that absinthe on the back end that is familiar with a lot of Don the Beachcomber drinks. I think the alcohol blend in here is genius. The cognac with the mainly ambered Martinique and then just a touch of very Hogo-y Jamaican rum. I think if you make this, if you put like an Appleton Estate in there instead of the Dr. Bird, you wouldn't get as much of that Hogo because it only calls for 0.25 and the Appleton might get lost in there. You need a pungent Hogo for the Jamaican style rum in here. I think an ambered Martinique is genius because it plays with that cognac perfectly. I can't tell if I'm getting those vanilla oaky notes from the cognac or from the ambered Martinique. I'm just assuming that they are marrying together for a spectrum of those wonderful flavors. Yeah, it's a very unique drink. I would be curious what this tastes like if we scaled the pineapple back, because now as I'm nearing the bottom of this drink, it's not a very voluminous drink, by the way. I'm getting more pineapple than passion fruit near the end. And I'm glad there was a surfer depicted next to it, because if there wasn't, I might not have even made this. So there you go, guys. I just drank the whole damn drink on camera for you. Overall, unique, phenomenal drink from Don's Delectable 30 menu. I think with that, I'm gonna call it a day. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And yeah, go out and make Don Beach. Aloha and cheers. There's no more left. Shucks.